Well, hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Janine Campbell, Manager of Community Relations for Claris. Thank you all so much for joining us today. It feels great to be here talking with you and hosting today's conversation. Facilitating communication and connection with our customers, developers, and partners is among my top priorities as head of community. So it's in that spirit that I've invited Brad, Peter, and Andrew to share exciting updates with you all today. Here at Clarus, we know that the community gathered here is core to our success. You are all essential, and it's our priority that we continue to enable and empower you. Today, you'll hear directly from Clarus leaders about what we've been working on. Everything from Clarus technology to the brand to how you can access all of our products in the future. These changes reinforce and serve our core purpose and values, and they are driven by our desire to empower you to be successful. Our ecosystem, made up of all of you, is a unique differentiator in the market. And having been among you for many years, I've seen firsthand how powerful this community is, especially when we work in tandem. You are our best advocates, bringing creativity, commitment, and knowledge with a passion for solving critical workplace problems. So I know you're anxious to hear what's coming, and I won't keep you waiting any longer. Let me turn it over to our CEO, Brad Freitag. Take it away, Brad.
Thank you, Janine, and welcome everyone. It is my pleasure to be here talking with all of you again. We know our ecosystem of problem solvers is one of our most valued resources. As I said in August, and it's worth reiterating now, if Clarus is core to your professional identity, for example, if you identify as a Clarus developer or a Clarus partner, you are our most important customer. Our platform does nothing without you, but with your gifted hands, magic happens. Today, we intend to offer direction about the platform, its community, and methods to raise awareness. Understand, today is not a launch, but a conversation between Clarus employees and our key customers. You are the first to hear these updates. This is going to be a big year for Clarus. In a bit, you'll hear Peter talk about our evolving platform and the way we're going to bring our newest technologies to market. This is going to serve for a precursor to an exciting launch scheduled for the fall. Secondly, we're going to talk about the evolving Clarus brand and how we will describe our tools within the platform so that we can better harmonize products with the Clarus identity. And finally, we'll talk about making Clarus more available by removing license barriers so more people can participate as developers. We've long understood that our network of developers and partners is a key competitive differentiator. That success depends on both a strong product and a thriving, passionate developer community. I love to hear stories about how you succeed with Clarus, how you build and strengthen businesses, solve critical business problems. We love to watch you become better, and whether that's measured in creative expression, business impact, earnings, or pride, we love to watch you win. We also take note of your expected gains and experience pains so that we continue to improve. We know that this community is key to the growth and adoption of Clarus, and that drives a virtuous cycle. As demand grows, we strengthen the intensity of our community. So we've created a new program designed to showcase your talent and help build on your success by engaging company leaders. We'll be reaching out to CEOs, school principals, owner-operators, and executives. Collectively, we research this cohort as economic buyers. Our aim is to increase their awareness of your skill set so that we can collectively solve more problems. Next week, we're going to launch the Clarus Problem Solver Circle, a first come, first serve program. We've never done anything like this, and we think it will fill up fast. But we're giving all of you here today first access to this program, our core community of Clarus problem solvers. You'll hear more details about this program in a bit. The primary takeaway is that the Problem Solver Circle is meant to enable you to have more conversations with those economic buyers about how to solve more problems. They need your expertise, not only to deploy more solutions, but also to advance digital strategies. They have vision, but not necessarily a brain trust, and you can guide them. The program is fundamental to our direction, empowering you to drive continuous improvement in collaboration with your customers. And Andrew Cates will outline the program elements. But first, please give a warm welcome to our Vice President of Engineering, Peter Nelson, who will share platform direction and our release plan. Welcome, Peter.
So much, Brad, and hello, everybody. I am really incredibly excited to be here with you today. We spent a lot of time over the last year focusing on our purpose, in essence, reflecting on why we exist. That purpose revolves around empowering you to be successful at what you do best, solving critical workplace problems efficiently. We provide you with a platform that lets you do the hard things your users need affordably and relatively quickly. And with that understanding of purpose in place, we're better able to discuss our plans for the future with you. I want to start by highlighting some of the investments and improvements we are making to the Filemaker product line and to the processes by which we deliver those products to you. There's an impending Filemaker 19.5 release. It is surely our best Filemaker suite release to date. There's significant performance and scalability improvements in Pro, Go, and Server. There's support for the latest Ubuntu platform. Functionally, there's support for Apple's live text and generalized QR code support, and we fixed more than 400 outstanding bugs across the product line. Subsequently, we're starting planning for a 19.6 release. It's currently targeting giving users much more control of transaction boundaries through scripting and better integration with user management systems, including Apple's and OAuth. Additionally, we're expecting we can get Server to a place where it will handle 1,000 concurrent connections. We will continue to invest in these product lines, making them more feature-rich, in addition to driving stability, performance, and compatibility. And we are going to work to be more and more transparent about what we are planning in terms of future work, and making sure that that work is aligned with your needs. This is the first time we've given you any visibility into an upcoming FileMaker release publicly. 8 months ago, I met with a lot of you and I told you about a new adventure that Clarus was embarking upon, building something new, working to bring you new capabilities, but doing so with an eye towards ensuring the platform you already know and love is able to fully benefit from the work and participate in our evolution. I called it new stuff. Today, we're going to talk about where it's going, what it's going to look like, and why we're doing it in general. But super quickly, back to the new stuff presentation from 8 months ago, I want to remind you of some of the things that I said. It's a multi-tenant and containerized infrastructure, which means it's cost-effective to deploy small instances. That means we and you can easily support trial deployments. It's open, modern, and fast, supporting eventual consistency and a lack of transaction boundaries and locking, meaning we can handle orders of magnitude more throughput than our current engines. And I know all of that sounds great, but I also know that if we were building it all as a silo, it wouldn't be very useful to most of you. I told you at the time that the new stuff would work with the FileMaker platform, that it would be a value add to that platform. And now I'm ready to talk about what it's going to look like, some of what you're going to first be able to do with the new stuff, and how we want developers and partners thinking about our platform in general, and how we get new people falling in love with it. So what is this new stuff? It's functionality that will be available to you as part of our overall Clarus platform, but it is far from everything that comprises that platform, as you'll soon see. This new development, which includes new stuff and more, needs a name. We've decided to call it Claris Studio. Claris Studio is going to take its place next to our existing products. And those products going forward will similarly get rebranded as Claris products. Claris Pro, Claris Go, and Claris Server. Now we're going to talk about how they play together over the long term. The first version of Claris Studio will be widely available in the fall. It will be our new web-based development environment. It's being designed, like I said, to be modern, fast, easy to get started, but it will still grow into the sort of flexible, powerful tool you've come to expect from Claris. It's designed to work with everything you love about Claris currently. It's the place where you will manage your Claris organization, create new users, and eventually these users will be leveraged by all of our products. You'll assign permissions to them. You'll develop new views and applications using our new Claris Studio authoring environment for use by your Claris organization or for anonymous public consumption. You'll be able to publish forms and applications publicly and manage automations, all within Studio. Most of the people who come to Claris Studio will be users of the applications that you build. They won't be developers. Those users, when they log in with their new Claris login, will see what we're calling hubs internally right now, that you'll have created for them as developers. Hubs are just collections of views and workflows that all work together. You might build your users an HR hub and a project management hub or a logistics hub. Building these new views and hubs will be incredibly easy. You'll be able to create new users for your organization and give those users access to hubs. And they'll be able to use all of the views or workflows that are contained in that hub. So, for example, as a user, if I want to perform operations around purchase request management, they're all bundled together for me. I can choose new PR and see a simple form for creating a new purchase rec. Or I could choose to approve PRs and see a list detail view filtered by all the unapproved PRs. I can click on one and approve it, and it'll disappear from the list. Building that creation flow and that approval flow will only take a few moments. One hub is always going to be reserved for anonymous users. Those workflows are for data gathering, for surveys, for sign-up forms, where you don't have named users, something that was always difficult to do in FileMaker. And because Claris Connect is now just part of Studio, the buttons on the forms and workflows that you create can fire off Connect workflows if you want, in addition to doing the sort of things you'd expect a button to do. Finally, if I'm an exec who wants a real-time dashboard showing me current spend on my project, we'll have beautiful and easy to configure dashboarding and charting to allow the creation of overview screens. And this isn't just true for data captured or generated in Studio. Remember that data pipe we talked about earlier? It goes two directions, between Claris Pro and Claris Studio, and from Studio back to Pro. So Claris Studio can be used to capture data for real-time use in your Claris Pro applications. And it can also be used to create tables, graphs, and dashboards easily, making data from Claris Pro accessible on the web, all stitched together with a single login. That's what creates the foundation of this new single Claris platform. And we're just getting started. Today, we sell FileMaker Pro, Server, Connect, and Cloud, separate products. They work together, but tomorrow we want to sell just one, a single Claris platform. As the capabilities of our unified platform grow, sometimes they'll grow in the new code base, sometimes in the FileMaker Pro code base, sometimes in the Connect code base. All of the pieces of our platform have value going forward and will continue to do so. So this is about more than just Claris Studio. It's about a whole platform. And it's more than just a rebranding. It's a rethinking of how we handle licensing and distribution. So what's guiding us internally? We have 4 North Stars. Number 1 is no friction for new adopters. We want people to be able to get to success building their solution without impediments. That's driving us to offer a freemium version of Claris Pro, free access to Claris Studio for a single user. That will allow you to build your solution, prove your ability to be successful to yourself, fall in love with the platform, and we will bill you only when you want to deploy your solution into production. Number two, as we've alluded to, a single identity across all of our properties, managed in Claris Studio. Studio has the concept of organizations. By default, if you're a free user, you'll have access to one organization and it will only support one user, you, the author. But by paying for the Claris platform, you gain the ability to add other users to your organization and share your solutions with them. Three, your data is available everywhere. To begin with, this is the new stuff data pipe between Studio and Pro. Eventually, though, it means better integration between all of our properties. And four, we are very serious about honoring the power of our developer. This means continuing to invest in the FileMaker platform, and it also means not breaking existing deployments, either functionally or through licensing, unless we're giving something to people much, much better in trade. If you follow these North Stars, you realize that to deliver against them, our licensing model needs to change. We want developers to have access to all of our properties because they will all be designed to support and augment each other. Access to this platform gets you a license to everything we build, but also requires us to make them work better together and to rethink the nature of a product. Today, we license our products at the binary level. You buy a license to Pro or to Server. Tomorrow, our binaries, our tools are free. We charge you for the ability to share the solutions you build with others. We charge you to deploy a solution into production. We encourage people to experiment with our platform, to build solutions to their problems, to be able to take those solutions in a single user mode and show others how to solve problems. Students, teachers, people watching YouTube videos, anyone will be able to use our products for as long as they want without time pressure. Only when they want to put their solution into production will they need to subscribe to our new platform. And this means that we can host free binaries on our site and on the Mac App Store. Our distribution infrastructure and model will be aligned with the way modern software is distributed. And that means it works the way people are accustomed to software working today. So let's quickly recap. You can go to the Mac App Store or Claris.com and download a free version of Claris Pro. Anyone can. You can utilize it to build your own solution and use it yourself. Access to a data store of your own in Studio that only you can access. No additional users is free. No local users in Claris Pro solutions either at that point, only single user apps. You can use Claris Pro fully though, in conjunction with Studio. It's an unlimited length trial. It never expires. But only you can use it, no deploying to others. So you can get to a place where you are confident that this new platform will be able to solve your problem. You can fully build a solution to your problem. And only when you want to deploy it do you pull out your credit card. And at that point, your organization is marked as deployable in Studio. You're provided with a license to Server and Connect in addition to the above. Also, you have the ability to create users in the Claris platform at that point, who can access any data stored in your organization in Studio, as well as use solutions you author with Claris Pro. So there are three ways to leverage our products. We aren't talking pricing or packaging today, but we are trying to provide direction about how we want you thinking about our platform. There's freemium access, there's paid platform access, which gets you a site license to Pro, Server, and Connect. And there's our existing licensing model for those people still on it. Everything will continue to work as it does today. But if you want access to Studio, you have to sign up for a subscription. A developer preview of Claris Studio that initially focuses on enabling anonymous form submission will be available as part of the program being rolled out today. It'll let you test the integration between data captured by Claris Studio workflows and solutions built in Claris Pro. And with that, I'd like to thank you all for your time and hand things over to Director of Platform Evangelism, Andrew Lucates.
Thank you, Peter. And hello, everyone. I am thrilled to be back with you today, but I have no idea how I'm going to follow that up. Watching the emoji stream through has been really amazing. Really happy to have you all here today. How am I going to follow it up? Well, with something that we are equally excited about. It is a new program that we're kicking off that Brad mentioned at the top of the meeting called Problem Solvers Circle. This program shares a common goal with the product vision that Peter just shared with us. It is to remove barriers to adoption of Clarus. But it's also about our core strategy that Brad discussed, empowering you, our developer community, to use Clarus for continuous improvement within your organizations and with your customers. And that is more important now than it has ever been. Why? Well, because the software space we play in has just changed dramatically. Software has eaten the world. It's pervasive. It's on-prem, it's mobile, it's in cloud. The majority of data we generate now doesn't come from people with keyboards anymore. It's passive, it's ambient, and it's automated. And the business tech stack has evolved as well. It's more than internal systems, it's apps, it's services, it's APIs and automations. So yes, it's still ERP systems and finance systems, et cetera, but it's also Slack and Typeform and Box and DocuSign and myriad other services. So with all this software, there's enormous opportunity for business owners, economic buyers, as Brad called it, to impact growth in their companies, reduce cost, improve customer experiences, and in essence, differentiate with technology. As an example, in a previous webinar, Brad mentioned the story of Domino's Pizza. A couple of years ago, Domino's was struggling as a company, almost went bankrupt, but they totally transformed their customer experience. And they did that by delivering an app that would allow you to order their product, pizza, in under 17 seconds while you were sitting at a stoplight in your car. And they didn't stop there. They also innovated on driverless delivery options. They've invested in e-bike technology and process automation so that people could receive their food in a touch-free, pandemic-safe way, critically important in the last couple of years. Domino's won their market by using tech and software to differentiate over and over again, to the point that they've been called a tech company that makes pizza. So the question then is, how does today's CEO, particularly in small to mid-sized business, think about technology like this? How do our customers innovate and outcompete, but minimizing, of course, cost and risk? Well, we know how. Everyone here remembers the old way, particularly outside of Clarus, that was waterfall. We'd imagine big, time-consuming, expensive projects that carried a lot of cost and a lot of risk. But we know the world of the Clarus developer is just different. You deliver quickly, you deliver instant value, and you improve over time. A business gets real value and real innovation when you deliver continuous improvement. There's immediate payoffs, but it is a long-term strategy. And as Clarus developers and partners, you make it happen. Clarus developers have built entire careers and professional purpose by being better at solving problems faster. You're not just fluent in technology, you have experience and best practices that cover every industry and every possible problem domain. And supported by the network effects of tens of thousands of peer fellow Clarus developers, there's practically no problem that's out of reach to anyone here. Clarus partners have built entire businesses that have succeeded for years or decades, helping companies to grow, streamline, and compete. Partner services may center on Clarus, but you also know code. You know the modern tech stack and the integrations, the data, and the services that your customers need. That's why we believe that this developer community is Clarus's differentiator. The problem solver circle then is about you, our developers and partners. We want to facilitate your driving continuous improvement for our mutual customers. And part of that bargain, of course, is that we have the right product for you. And we do. From the start, Clarus FileMaker has been about custom. It's been about adaptability and responsiveness to changing business needs. But today, holy cow, we are a platform that is powerful and open and extensible and can solve the hard problems that matter for any business. With it, you can deliver value anywhere a business owner needs, rapidly and continuously. Everyone attending this webinar is already using Clarus for at least one key business application, but many of the companies here represented here today may not be harnessing the full power of the platform or getting the most value from it yet. Your company is sold on a specific use, but has not yet realized how repeatable that might be. You might have an entire backlog of goals and ideas that could be accomplished with the Clarus platform. And this is a place where many of our customers, led by developers and partners, start, with opportunities to prove value quickly, to iterate, experiment, and then succeed at making the business better through continuous improvement. Elements Manufacturing is a company that is one such example from Santa Cruz, California. They are a small business that is emulating Domino's. They are an architectural millwork manufacturer making custom panels, cabinetry, and ceilings for homes and office buildings. They have been on a multi-year journey with their platform and the support of a Claris Platinum partner. They had disparate systems and a lot of analog data like field measurements that they had to move through their work streams. They started by looking at their problem space and picking one thing to solve for, which was improving a system for producing job estimates for customers. And they increased the output of the bids that they provided to customers by 50%, 50%, within a month, while improving the accuracy of those bids and thus the customer experience. That's direct impact on revenue for them. Then they looked for the next problem, and project managers had limited visibility into upcoming work. So the next experiment was, I bet we can make a FileMaker system for that. And they digitized workflows. So now they have visibility into their work pipeline coming, and all employees are updated in real time, even remote ones, with real impact to their expenses and efficiency, right? So Elements is a great example of a creative business with the support of a Clarus partner and a continuous improvement mindset that is managed even through pandemic to innovate and make their business better. I hope you'll check out the customer story. You can hit the QR code on screen if you want, where David Wright, the COO of the company, summarizes all of this by saying, Clarus allows us to dream again. That is what Problem Solver Circle is about. Connecting business owners that want to differentiate through technology with Clarus developers that can lead them based on a platform they can trust with a mindset for continuous improvement. So as Brad said before, we're going to try something new. It's called Problem Solver Circle, and specifically on joining, we will convert a customer's existing licensing to a site license covering their entire company. And that site license will include every available technology from Clarus, not just Clarus FileMaker, but also Clarus Connect and exclusive first access to Claris Studio Developer Preview. That means you can use all of our products and technologies for all of your employees, and even for anonymous guests or external users like contractors, vendors, or customers. It's just that simple. All our stuff for your entire company. And that site license is there for you for 2 years. So that's 2 years to prove value delivery anywhere you want in your business. You have 2 years to experiment with no surprises or risk related to licensing. Some experiments can fail, some will win, and that means you get 2 years to benefit from the innovations you can make. After 2 years, with that value proven and your business better, we're going to true up that licensing. So what's it cost? It's for existing customers only, and the cost will be based on your existing licensing with us. You can enroll in the program for a 30% increase over your current licensing cost. That means, for example, if you have 25 seats of licensing with Clarus, but you have 100 employees, for the cost of roughly 8 more seats, you can license all 100 employees and also anonymous users for all our technologies. And the same math holds true if you have 1,000 or 10,000 employees. For the cost of roughly 8 more seats, you would be covered with a blanket license for every employee in your organization and more. One small variation, just so I'm complete and accurate, if you do wish to deploy with Clarus FileMaker Cloud as well, the program will cost a little bit more. It'll be a 2x upcharge instead of 30% to account for the compute and the services that we provide. But still, you can see this program is going to make a ton of sense for a lot of customers that are not yet using the Clarus platform for broad-based continuous improvement across their organization. So we're trying something new. It's an experiment for us as well, and we're really excited about it. I hope you are too. We're going to kick off enrollment for the Problem Solver Circle in 1 week on May 3rd. Availability will be limited, as Brad mentioned, to 500 customers only, and the sign-up window is going to close at the end of June. So we hope this will start some conversations right away. If you're a developer, you've got to let your company know about this. Set up time with your boss and with your IT department as soon as you can. And partners, we hope this is a reason to contact your customers and start scheduling some meetings. After that, get in this program, jump on the next problem that matters most right now, and then keep going, and let's improve some businesses. You may want to know specifically what to do to get started, and for the details, I'm going to hand it over to my very good friend and colleague, Janine Campbell, who's going to give us some details on how you can enroll. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you in the Problem Solver Circle. Janine?
Thanks, Sandy. Thanks, Peter. Thanks, Brad. Whew, that's a lot of really exciting stuff. I agree with with Andy. Seeing your reactions in WebEx is pretty exciting. Let me take a minute to summarize what happens next, and then we'll move on to questions. So in the coming week, we're going to be providing more information about the program to help you. We'll have a dedicated space in community for those who purchase the Problem Solver Circle to get support with onboarding. And as always, our community discussions are open to everyone, and we'll stay active to answer your questions in those forums. Additionally, we're planning webinars in the coming weeks, and for our partners, we look forward to meeting with you all on Thursday to enable your success with this program. And finally, we are producing additional enablement kits and materials to help you describe the program and evaluate it for your organizations and for your customers. And these materials will be available publicly at the time of launch. So, as Andy mentioned, and Brad and Pete, the program kicks off on May 3rd. So you may want to set a reminder in your calendar for that date. Again, it's available to the first 500 customers on a first come, first served basis and will be available through the end of June. Customers who join the program have that 2-year window for expansion of the platform, testing new ideas, deploying new solutions, creating new value. Customers can purchase either through a preferred Clarus partner or by contacting Clarus sales directly. So, what can you do immediately? If you'd like to be contacted by our team about the program, you can scan the QR codes here and sign up. This lets us know that you'd like someone to reach out to you and learn more. The sign up is open between now and May 3rd, just until we launch the program. And for partners, please use the QR code specifically that will take you to partner community. In the meantime, keep your eyes on your email, on Claris.com, and on the Clarus community for the latest information about the Problem Solver Circle. Okay, so we know you have some questions, and we're going to take the remainder of our time to get to as many questions as we can. So give me a moment while I check the questions, and I will get us started. Okay, so my first question here is for Peter. Peter, this question is asking for a licensing solution to allow us to open up solutions to the general public using a web interface into our solutions like we used to. Can we?
Yep, you're welcome. I don't know what else to say. Yes, it's there. It's part of the plan. It's the first thing that rolls out.
Okay, and one more for you, Pete. You're not off the hook yet. Is Claris Pro a completely different product from Filemaker Pro 19?
It depends on what whoever asked that means. I would say no. The way I would think about it is Claris Pro is FileMaker 19 that integrates with Claris Studio. And for as far ahead as we can see, the FileMaker 19 not just brand, but product line will live on. We'll continue to get feature and functionality updates in sync with Claris Pro. The only difference is Claris Pro requires a subscription and connects to FileMaker Studio. FileMaker 19 is traditionally licensed.
Okay, thanks, Pete. Brad, I have a question for you. Is Clarus Studio available across all countries?
Yes, Clarus Studio is available across all countries. We follow a typical pattern of deploying first from our US Western data center, and then we advance to additional locations. We will do the same thing with Clarus Studio.
Day one, on May 3rd, we are only in our West Coast data center, and we'll quickly be working to get elsewhere.
Okay, awesome. Back to you, Pete. Is the freemium version of Pro allowed only one user? How can I test my apps with different types of users? Will I be able to create?
We know we need to solve that problem rapidly, is all I'll say. And so, yeah, the need to create users that can use the solution, but not open up too many avenues for sharing is something we're working through right now. It'll get solved. We understand that you need to test your apps.
Pete, there's a lot of questions for you, so I'm just going to keep hitting you, if that's okay. Can a solution move from one Clara Studio to another? If a company stops doing business with one partner and engages with another, how does the handoff work?
We don't have a handoff right now. But again, this is part of what you get with Agile is we're rolling stuff out as we build it. now. And we've got a product management organization that's going to be working very, very closely with the community to understand what they need us providing next. That sort of functionality that you described isn't hard. It's just a question of when we decide to prioritize it. But it's not there day one, no.
And what do you foresee with regard to Clara Studio support for on-prem?
So again, focus is something we're actively practicing internally here. So day one version of Clara Studio, it's cloud only. It is. And we're going to, as Brad mentioned, we've got to get out to data centers around the planet first and make sure we can coat the globe with Clara Studio goodness. Having said that, ensuring that the infrastructure we're standing up supports on-prem deployments has been one of our guiding drivers since we started this project. So technically, we are not closing doors to it. It's not an immediate roadmap, but there's also nothing that we've done to keep it from being in a roadmap.
Great. I like focus. Focus is good.
Focus is good.
Focus is good. How will WebDirect apps using this technology be improved? You've mentioned it doesn't scale well. We think it doesn't scale well either.
Yeah. Initially, in part to make sure that we're providing immediate value, the sort of publishing and apps and workflows that you can create in Studio are really very different from WebDirect's. And the first developer preview, we focus on anonymous data capture, for instance, which is really, really hard to do with FileMaker and WebDirect. So we're trying to get ourselves to a footing where we've got a platform, a suite of products that all work well together that provide different bits of functionality, but they support and augment each other. So the first versions of Studio are going to let you do some things that WebDirect won't let you do. If you want to take your traditional complicated FileMaker solution and publish it pixel for pixel to the web, WebDirect's a much, much, much more able tool for you and will continue to be. Okay. Different tools for different purposes. You own a hammer and a screwdriver and a wrench for a reason.
Okay, one more for you, and then I'm going to diversify our question and answer respondents. What happens to FileMaker Go?
It continues on. It's a super useful tool, isn't it?
Yeah, agreed. I gave you an easy one. Okay, so Brad, I'm going to give you one, and then I'm going to give Julie one, and then we'll see where we are in time. Okay. As the new stuff rolls out, it will replace Clarus in another. It will place Clarus in another stratosphere, and it will be important to be taken seriously by big IT. How will Clarus exploit this opportunity?
IT is important, and I think CIO attitudes, general IT attitudes have come around to embrace really anything that will help them burn down their backlog of projects. So we do see a completely different type of conversation today than what we were experiencing several years ago. We've talked about that. We are now messaging specifically to IT. We've made significant security investments to comply with IT expectations. The bigness of IT is probably another point of focus for us. I would look to optimizing around employee size of up to 1,000 employee type companies for our go-to-market efforts. As you get into over a couple thousand, you start to move closer to the Fortune 500. And from a pricing and go-to-market perspective, we really want to do well with small and medium-sized businesses and be a great solution for them. So our focus is not Fortune 500, if that's what is meant by big IT. That said, we're in most of the Fortune 500 today, and I think this will make us increasingly attractive there. We will be fine pursuing that market opportunistically, but strategically, our focus will be on small through medium-sized businesses. That includes schools, governments, higher education for the foreseeable future.
The other thing I'd say about Clarus Studio is it is very, very standards based. And so any IT organization, any size IT organization, when it looks at leveraging Studio, isn't going to have concerns, technical concerns, security concerns, the way they can have when you want to put a server on-prem, etc. They're leveraging a SaaS service, and it's going to feel very, very comfortable to them.
Awesome. Okay, so one more for you, Brad, and then I'm going to ask Julia a question specific for partners. If an organization becomes part of the problem solver circle, I assume that at the end of 2 years, they will be subject to site licensing pricing at that time. If they choose or need to move off the site license, will they have the option of paying for the number of users that they need at that time?
Yeah, so question is clear, and just to make sure everybody understands, customers will have the option to either true up at the end of 2 years to continue the site licensing, or they can specify named user licensing as an example to meet their requirements. There would be no obligation for them to continue beyond that 2 years with this current program.
Thank you. And Julie, a question, just a clarifying question regarding partner enablement and how people can make sure that they are registered to participate in that.
Yes. Thanks, Janine. So we know that many of our partners are going to be very interested in reaching out to their customers for this program. We have an enablement session for partners only on Thursday. We will be sending out a reminder to all partners today for that session. So if you haven't already signed up, you'll get another email from us later today.
Great, thank you so much. And one more for you. Will a Clarus partner have to purchase licenses for each customer they work with?
Oh, great question. We love to give our partners choices. If you want to resell the licenses with your customers in this program, you can. If you don't, that's okay as well. They can purchase through Clarus and you can still provide your services to them. So it's up to the partner.
Great, thank you so much. All right, so we are getting close to the end of our time together, and I have one more ask of all of you. So first of all, thank you for all those questions. We're going to stop with Q&A at this point and wrap up. So thank you all for your time today. I think we can all agree this is all very exciting, and I hope you appreciate hearing the direction that we're going as a company, as a product, as a brand, and that you're excited about the Problem Solver Circle. With that, please quickly scan this QR code and give us your feedback on today's session. Tell us how we did. We absolutely listen to this feedback and apply it to our future plans for these types of sessions. So don't hesitate to tell us how we did today. And with that, I'd like to thank all of our panelists, Brad, Peter, Andy, Julie, Rosemary Giuliano behind the scenes helping out. Thank you all. And we hope to see you all again really soon.